Hey, welcome back to Web Design Basics. At this point, we've gone through the few WordPress basics. We've gone through the two tabs that we normally have open while we're working in WordPress, which one is the front end. It's the direct home page that the world is going to see. And we've got what we call the back end or dashboard, which requires us to log in. Remember, to get to the dashboard, we simply type in wp-admin up at the top of our address bar right at the end of the web address, and it takes us to our login page. So I am logged in as my administrator account, and I'm here on the dashboard. This session I want to talk a little bit about categories and tags. We've talked about pages and posts already in previous session, but in this case I really want to focus on categories and tags. Now if we go to our dashboard and we roll over the word post, you'll see that there are four subcategories or four sublinks for posts. There's all post, add new, categories, and tags. When we go to a sample post, let's go to all post and click on one of our samples. We can scroll down just a little and we can see that categories and tags are both choices on the right-hand column for each individual post. Now a category is sort of like the umbrella label of the content of each post. Let's pretend like we're doing a website about recipes. You know, there's a lot of ways we could organize recipes. We could do breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Categories, we could say, you know, what type of background it comes from or country it comes from. We could do American recipes, Mexican, German, Italian. We could break them down into hot food or cold food. You know, there's many ways we could break down the categories for our recipe site. And then with any blog or with any website, we really truly try to think of categories as sort of a collection of blog posts. Ultimately, we're going to be able to make navigation links to these categories. So how cool would it be if on our nav bar we could see breakfast, and when we click on breakfast we would see all of the posts we've ever made that deal with breakfast recipes. I could have another link up here that says lunch, and when I click lunch I could see all of my lunch recipes together. Every post that's under a certain category is going to come up when we link to its category. So it's important we understand the categories are not just about organizing our blog post, but it's also about maybe creating some navigation down the road. It really is a smart idea to go ahead and create your categories first. Now to create a category is very simple. We're right here on a post. We can go to add new category, or we could go to categories over here on the under dashboard on the far left, and we can go ahead and create some categories there. And that's where I want to go. I want to go over here to the post and categories, and let's go ahead and do maybe some of these sample categories like breakfast. And in this case, I'm not going to give it any sort of slug or any sort of parent. I just want to make it a basic category. I'm not going to type description. It generally is not something that shows up anywhere in our design. So all I'm doing is typing in a category name, and it appears right up here. I'll also do lunch. I'll do dinner. And 3 is probably enough. I was going to do desserts, but I'll go ahead and do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Now, I didn't type in a slug. That's generally what's going to appear up in our web address when the end user clicks on a category link. It'll have whatever the slug is up in the address bar. The slug is generally the same thing as the category name, except it's all lowercase. So we've created some categories very quickly. Now we can go back to our post, and I'll go into Alan's sample post, and I'll change it from the uncategorized category to breakfast. Now from the front end, I probably am not going to see much of a difference. I do see right up here at the top, right above it, it says breakfast. And every design theme is a little bit different. As we get into themes a little bit later, you'll see that every design that we choose in WordPress puts things in a little bit different place. And that's good and bad at the same time, but more on that later. But in this default theme, I see breakfast right there. And notice it's also clickable. I didn't do anything to make this clickable. And if I hover over it, it even comes up and says view all posts in breakfast. So if I were to click that right now, it simply shows me all of the posts that I've made that have been categorized under breakfast. I only have the one at the moment, but I think you understand the point. So categories are a big organizational tool that we have in WordPress for our posts. And remember, a post is an individual piece of content. I also have tags. Tags are the second way that we can organize our content. And tags are the very specific terms and keywords that sort of make up the content of each individual post. Again, if I'm doing a recipe, let's say that we're doing a pizza recipe, and pizza for breakfast, maybe not, maybe it's something else. But if pizza is my recipe, I could write individual words that I would find in this recipe, like pizza, cheese, pepperoni, crust, bread, garlic, and so on and so forth. I could hit add, and it adds each individual tag to this post. Tags are very specific. Categories are more of that umbrella label that we're putting above things. You know, breakfast is not very specific. There's going to be many things under breakfast, but these are very specific. Tags are extremely specific. Pizza, cheese, bread. It might be an ingredient list. It might be just words that I'm using more often than not inside of each post. When I update this, I go back to the front end of my site, and I'm going to go to the home page. I see on this default theme, I see some tags down here. Notice they're clickable. What do you think happens if I were to click any of these tags? Pepperoni, for example, it'll take me to a link that shows me all blog posts that include the tag pepperoni. What a great way to cross-reference content on our site. We've got organizational tools that allow me to categorize things. We've got tags that allow us to cross-reference other content. And really, this is a great marketing tool for us as designers. By having tags, that provides links very quickly and easily for our end users to click to take them to other parts of our site that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise gone. So the fact that we've got tags available here to us, even though they're very specific and different than categories, kind of serve as a similar function. We can click on a category or a tag, and it takes us to a page with all of our blog posts associated with those terms sorted for us already. So categories and tags are not only a nice feature to WordPress, they are vital to getting our navigation and our menu and our clickable links in order. One of the greatest things about WordPress, it's not HTML page-based. It's all based out of a database. All these blog posts can be pulled up at any given time on so many different levels, and that is great for our end users. So hopefully this session clears up a little bit about categories and tags. Thanks for watching.